Hi everybody, I'm Monica Morales and you're watching the Monica Makes It Happen social media show. It is Women's History Month and we're celebrating the power of women. That's every day here at our show. We have an amazing guest who's fighting food insecurity and mental health challenges among our children, helping children across our area. But first, this.
Monica Makes It Happen is proudly supported by Goya. If it's Goya, it has to be good.
Seny Taveras is here, the Executive Director of National Supermarkets Association. Seny, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is a great show, by the way.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, you know, you're making it happen, and I always collect the best people making it happen in our communities. For how many decades you've been working with Goya Cares to make sure that this happens for our children, not just mental health, but human trafficking, resources, and you know, food insecurity is so dear to my heart and to your heart. Why is it such a mission for you personally? Let's talk about your story first.
Well, thank you. That's a great question. My parents are immigrants. They came to this country with $1 and a dream from the Dominican Republic. And I was the first born in my family in the U.S. I was born in Brooklyn, New York. And then we shifted to different neighborhoods. We ended up living in Washington Heights for a really long time. And honestly, talking about food insecurity and underprivileged, we lived in a neighborhood where there are so many necessities. And I remember my mom being like the sheriff in town, always trying to find resources. So, you know, those values were instilled in me by my parents. That's where the passion comes from. And if I roll, you know, the clock to today, I think about the National Supermarket Association as executive director is sort of like my dream job. I get to do exactly what my values were and how I grew up. And they're amazing owners that care about communities as much as I do. So we have similar values. And that's how this relationship came about. They've been around for 35 years, and they've been fighting food insecurity because, as you know, Monica, the reality is that when you talk about food insecurity, you talk about low-income families, children with not a very good nutrition, going to school without eating a proper breakfast, you don't learn in the same way. You think about equity, same opportunities. So, you know, food insecurity touches upon every single aspect of your life. So one of the things that we care about is having food and affordable food and good food, healthy food in the different neighborhoods. And that's what the NSA really is about, giving opportunities to communities.
You know, I'm so passionate. It's almost like we're the same person. We're twins. I have my dream job too, aligning with my goals. And I remember opening up the fridge as a young woman and not seeing anything there. You know, and that's very common for a lot of Black and brown families, specifically in our city. And in a rich city like New York City, we've been battling that for how long? In the tri-state area, we've been battling it. And you're the one on the front lines making it happen and fighting the good fight with 700 members strong. It is fate. It might be destiny that you're leading this organization. Now that I hear your story and I know where you come from and now what you're doing, do you feel that sense of urgency that we're in a crisis right now?
I definitely feel that because, as you know, the economy, there's inflation. Think about eggs, how expensive they've become. You know, if you think about some of the alternatives now, when you were able to buy eggs for $2.99, now they went up, skyrocketed to $14. Families were able to buy eggs and bread and milk. That's an entire breakfast right there. But now they can't do that.
But what I love about, you know, what we're doing here at the Monica Makes It Happen show and social media show, now podcast, is we focus on the solutions and getting resources to our viewers every single day on all of these different platforms. And that's why you're here, because you have scholarships and it's like these supermarkets, these incredible markets are really the meccas, the heart and soul of the community. And now they're becoming community hubs, kind of, where you're getting resources out to the people most in need. Tell me about that with Goya Cares, which is obviously one of our favorite places. They're one of our partners. So tell me about that.
Well, if you think about the NSA, they've founded this organization since 1989. And since 1989, Goya Cares and NSA Cares have been partners. And that's where they develop these important programs where they raise money and awareness for all the different topics. What, you mentioned the scholarship. We've been doing the scholarship for many years. To date, $3 million in scholarships.
$3 million.
$3 million to students that live in the areas where we have these supermarket owners.
I love
in the Bronx,
that.
Manhattan,
Yes.
Lower Manhattan, Queens, everywhere.
And I love that Goya cares, and now it's You Care, and that's why that these young people are getting these scholarships. I know I needed a scholarship growing up, so it's so helpful. It's the difference between going to school and not going to school. Let's go back to you and the story. I always go full circle to you. If someone's watching, it is Women's History Month, and they see you, you're a boss. From City Hall, you were a boss at City Hall, to corporate America. What would you say was the one thing you could tell someone watching who might be struggling to get that job, and as a woman right now that needs to break in?
Well, to those women who are watching us, the first thing I would say that they have to believe in themselves. They have to believe in themselves. And that, there's so many setbacks and hurdles. From the first job, from going to college to going to law school, to my first job, to my current job, there are always setbacks, but you have to pick yourself back up, and you have to work together in partnership with other women. And also, you have to identify mentors and companies that support what you've been doing. I've been lucky enough to have mentors, but that doesn't say that I haven't had setbacks, personally and professionally. But, I think about my parents and their dreams. They gave up their dreams to give me dreams. And that really uplifts me. And, I want to leave a legacy where women don't go through some of the things that we've gone through.
Oh,
that we have
wonderful.
a society where we have the resources for women. And I do believe, I'm very hopeful. I think that the landscape is changing and that we need to continue to work together. You talked about Goya Cares and NSA Cares.
Yeah.
That's a great partnership. We didn't mention earlier that now, you talked about our cause. We are working on mental health. This is our cause for this year. What did we do? We adopt a nonprofit that gives free services to children and women to end mental health and to have that support. So working together in collaboration, uplifting one another, I think that's the key. But to the women watching, believe in yourself and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Reinvent yourself. That's my message.
Seny, I could talk to you all day, and guess what? I have good news for people watching. You are going to be on the next Monica Makes It Happen TV show. That's March 31st at 4:30 p.m. Thank you for joining us. You're going to come back. You know that when I have guests, they come back every week. It's like Follow-Up Friday. I adopt you, and you're going to be part of our team here, our partner, okay?
I'm humbled, and it's truly my pleasure, and I congratulate you. This is a wonderful show.
Thank you, Seny. And, you're like a sister to me, and I really appreciate it. So don't forget, she's going to be on the Monica Makes It Happen TV show. Again, March 31st at 4:30 p.m. Thank you for watching. Always, every night at 5:45 and 6:45. Send your stories. I live for those stories. Whatever you need, we want to make it happen. We're making it happen together. See you next time. Thank you. Thank you. Be the best.